every morning, like clockwork. Many of us follow a habit that seems perfectly healthy. We wake up early, brew a fresh cup of black coffee, and sip it quietly in peace without eating a thing. Some say it's good for digestion. Others claim they're just not hungry, and eating would only feel heavy. There are even people who believe this routine helps with weight control or slows aging. But what most of us don't realize is that this very habit, repeated day after day, might actually be slowly weakening our legs. If lately we found ourselves walking more slowly, feeling unsteady when we stand up, or noticing that our legs tire more easily for no clear reason, the problem might lie in the very breakfast we're skipping. It may sound minor, but the consequences are anything but. So today, we're going to take a close look at what really happens inside the body when we drink coffee every morning without eating anything. We'll break down how this habit contributes to muscle loss, drops in blood sugar, and a decline in leg strength, especially after 60. But don't worry. By the end, we'll also talk about how to adjust your breakfast in a simple, enjoyable way that supports strong muscles and lasting energy. If you find this topic helpful, don't forget to like the video, share it with friends your age, and subscribe so we can keep supporting each other on this journey toward better daily health. 1. The hidden blow to muscle after 60. If someone asked what the most common morning drink is, the answer would almost certainly be coffee. For many people, a cup of black coffee first thing in the morning isn't just a way to feel alert. It's part of a peaceful, familiar routine. But the problem here isn't the coffee itself. It's the fact that we're drinking it alone, without eating anything alongside it. At first glance, this might seem harmless, but once we look inside the body, especially the body of someone in their 60s or older, that harmless-looking cup of coffee starts triggering a chain reaction we don't see. Right after we wake up, our body is in a fasted state. We've already gone hours without eating. Blood sugar is low. Glycogen stores in the liver are depleted. And if we go on to skip breakfast, we're pushing our system even further into an energy deficit. Without fresh energy from food, the body has to look elsewhere, and unfortunately, it starts looking at our muscles. When glucose isn't available, the body begins breaking down protein from muscle tissue to convert into energy. This is called muscle catabolism, and in older adults, this process becomes even more dangerous because as we age, our ability to rebuild lost muscle weakens. So once we start losing muscle, it's harder and harder to get it back. In other words, when we drink black coffee on an empty stomach, we're unknowingly telling the body to break down muscle to keep us going. A little bit each day may not seem like much, but over months or years, that small daily loss adds up. We may begin to feel it in ways we don't even link to breakfast legs that feel weaker, steps that are slower, difficulty standing up from a chair, and eventually, the risk of falling increases too. A study published in Nutrition and Healthy Aging in 2023 found that among older adults, skipping breakfast regularly was associated with increased muscle loss in the lower body, especially in postmenopausal women. And along with that muscle loss came higher risks of mobility problems and fractures from falls. But the coffee on an empty stomach issue doesn't stop there. That one cup also triggers the adrenal glands to release cortisol, the stress hormone. A little cortisol in the morning is natural, even helpful. But when it rises too high, especially in a fasted state, it interferes with how the body builds and maintains muscle. It slows down protein synthesis, making it even harder for older adults to maintain strength. These silent changes, when repeated daily, start to show up in our everyday life. Just imagine this common situation: an older man, perhaps in his mid-60s, enjoys his black coffee every morning and skips breakfast. At first, he felt alert, comfortable, and light. But over time, he notices that his legs don't move as easily. Going upstairs feels tiring. Standing from a chair takes more effort. And sometimes he has to push himself up with his hands. He's not in pain, and no illness has been diagnosed, yet his legs are clearly growing weaker. And the real cause may be that quiet morning routine he never questioned. This isn't a rare story. Many people over 60 experience unexplained muscle loss, and when we look closer, a surprising number of them have one thing in common: years of drinking coffee without food first thing in the morning. After a certain age, our bodies can't tolerate the same habits we had in our 30s. Skipping meals or trying trendy fasting routines may work for the young. But for older adults, the priority must shift toward preserving strength and energy every single day. 2. Protecting muscle starts with the right kind of breakfast. So then, instead of just sipping black coffee in the morning, how can we tweak that routine to protect our leg strength without feeling heavy or uncomfortable? The answer lies in a small but powerful shift, and it's simpler than you might think. Now that we understand what silently harms our muscles, we're also in a better position to stop and reverse the damage. If you've had this habit for years, here's the good news: you don't have to give up coffee. All it takes is adjusting the way we drink it and what we eat before or alongside it. The most important thing is to give our body a bit of energy before the caffeine hits. Even a light breakfast changes how the body responds. With food in the stomach, the adrenal glands don't have to overreact to keep us alert, which keeps cortisol in check. And when that happens, coffee becomes helpful again, not harmful. We should especially focus on including at least one source of easy-to-digest protein, because that's what our muscles rely on for repair and maintenance. One study from McMaster University in Canada showed that for older adults, adding about 20 to 30 grams of protein to main meals, especially breakfast, significantly boosts muscle protein synthesis. This becomes even more important after 60, when the body doesn't respond to protein as strongly unless it's timed right. So in the morning, instead of just a black coffee, we could start the day with a light, nutrient-rich meal, something as simple as a slice of whole grain toast with a boiled egg, or a small bowl of oatmeal made with unsweetened milk, topped with a few almonds or banana slices. These aren't heavy meals, but they provide enough protein and healthy carbs to stop the body from burning muscle for energy. And after eating, we can absolutely enjoy our usual cup of coffee. The caffeine now works in a different environment. It wakes us up, sharpens our focus, and no longer causes the jitteriness, racing heart, or blood pressure spikes we get when drinking it on an empty stomach. Most importantly, it won't interfere with muscle maintenance, the very thing that keeps us standing strong and moving well as we age. Some might think, but breakfast means waking up early and cooking. In reality, it doesn't have to be that complicated. A boiled egg prepared the night before, a slice of whole grain bread in the fridge, a cup of chilled milk, or a jar of overnight oats, that's all you need. It takes less than 5 minutes in the morning, but it sends a powerful message to your body. I won't leave you running on empty. It'll feed you well, regularly, and the right way. There's even more benefit. When we eat a proper breakfast, we tend to snack less later in the morning, feel more stable throughout the afternoon, and sleep better at night. It's a positive chain reaction, all triggered by one small change at the start of the day. So today, we've explored a seemingly harmless morning routine, drinking coffee on an empty stomach, and uncovered how it could slowly weaken our muscles, affect our balance, and make our legs feel less stable over time. We've seen how skipping breakfast pushes the body to burn muscle for energy, reduce protein synthesis, and increase stress hormones, and how all of that quietly chips away at our strength. But the best part is, this is something we can absolutely improve. A light breakfast with good protein and smart carbs, followed by coffee, can protect our muscles while still giving us that morning boost we enjoy. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button, share this video with friends or family, and subscribe so you don't miss future health videos. And how about you? Are you drinking your morning coffee the right way? Leave us a comment. We'd love to hear your story.